if you have an understanding about where your strengths and your weaknesses lie, if a condition presents itself that you are not in agreement with, you now have options. That's the whole name of this show. It is to create a scenario where you think about different options that exist in the world so that you always have an option to make a decision and you are not stuck. You're made for something special. And whoever you impact in your position will be happy that you pursued your dreams, because someone else is in that position right now and they are probably doing a terrible job.
Hello and welcome to Cure of All Trades on Phresh Phactory TV.
This show, Cure of All Trades, will work to help the viewers solve the problem of identifying their ideal positions, career, or trade. This is really a dream come true, and I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to share this space with you. The main audience for this show is the individual who wants to discover their professional zone of genius, meaning the place you can excel based on your skills and talents. That set of skills and talents is something that you just can't buy, but you can't add on to. The reason I established this show is because in my corporate professional life, I am a human capital management strategist at Phresh Phactory, Inc. And what is a human capital management strategist? I create the situations at our partner companies that allow individuals and teams to contribute their full potential. So just imagine that you landed a job that was your dream job and that you're naturally skilled at doing it, and then someone went in ahead of you to make sure that they created the environment so you could actually have the free range to do that exact job. Like, no BS, just a great environment to do the work where you can shine. A human capital manager is basically HR of the future. So while others are using artificial intelligence to look for keywords on a resume, we use specialized assessments to qualify and recruit the correct type of person or people who naturally have the skills to dominate a field or an industry, and then we build or rebuild teams for the business that surrounds it. So that's where this show comes in. We find that a lot of people don't know their ideal position or job, and that may include you. Maybe that includes your friend, your son, your nephew, your mom, your dad. A lot of people just do a job. It's not their favorite. It's not what they really want to do. They're not really interested in it, but they go every day. Some people are just doing something. Maybe they're just working their job for right now until something better comes up. Or maybe they're going to keep on going to it every day until they retire. And then after they retire, they're really going to enjoy their lives. Really, I think people deep down know what they want to do for a living, but then they just don't do that thing. So again, one of the objectives of this show is to help people figure out, or really just admit, that they really do desire something more out of work than what they're currently getting. I want you to know that you have permission to want a dream job. Then you also have permission to work that dream job. And then you also have permission to be happy that you did all those things. I worked plenty of jobs where people didn't know crap about what they were talking about, and I knew very well that I could outperform them, outthink them, or whatever. But the secret is that I didn't even make an attempt for the position, or one like it, or one I may have actually liked more than that, because I actually was scared and my confidence was low, and I thought, well, the other person must be more qualified than me because they have a PhD. Well, sometimes a person is just born with skills that another person had to go and pay $250,000 worth of education to obtain. Believe it, because it's true. So, ma'am, sir, you are the only you. You are uniquely and wonderfully made. Yes, you. And you're made for something special. And whoever you impact in your position will be happy that you pursued your dreams, because someone else is in that position right now and they are probably doing a terrible job. And then where are you? So anyway, since no one is out here doing this, then I am. My name is Kira, and the name of this show is Kira of All Trades. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and all that at
KIERAOFALLTRADES.
Again, some people are gonna know basically what they want to do with their career. I call it a whisper. It's the voice that you hear in your head. And if it's already telling you what you want to do, then you are very much gonna be light speed, moving ahead to get that position or working up to it. If not, we're gonna make sure that we can figure out exactly what that line of work is. So if you don't know the name of the job or the position or the trade or the career that you would like, we'll take a few steps today to have you to name your capabilities, your needs, your wants, like what are your interests, because yes, that matters. What type of environment do you prefer? Who else do you want to work with? What are your natural skills and abilities? How much do you need to make? So for today, for yourself, I just want you to start there. Okay, get your pen and paper. If you know the place that you're naturally talented in and then just don't know the title exactly, then just write down a bunch of jobs that you did before that you liked some aspect of. So if you worked in a fast food joint and you love the fast-paced environment, then write it. If you like dealing with the customers, write customer service or one-on-one interactions, whatever. Those are tasks. So write down all the tasks that you like. Like when you were doing this task, you forgot you were at work. That's how you know what to write down. Next, write the ideal environment. So, okay, full disclosure, I love to travel. I have a lot of Sagittarius traits regarding work. So I really enjoy traveling, but I really have not enjoyed trips that I went on that were not somewhat work related, to be honest. I know that's sad, but I'm a goal oriented person. On my paper, I would write under environment, work related travel. The other part of things that I need environmentally is the freedom to work alone the majority of the time. Not everyone's like that. So do you like team environments? If so, where do you fall in that grouping? Because everyone can't be the leader. Everybody can't be isolated. Everybody can't be, oh, I'm gonna work by myself. That's not how business is done. So not everyone can be the leader, because that's too many chiefs is the saying for that. But if you know you play the best supporting role and you make sure that everyone has everything that they need, then write that. Like, that's your role. Be that. They say many hands make light work. Honestly, do you need full instruction? Do you need the ability to be overseen just in case you have a question? Write it down. People get an amazing job with the right hours, the right pay, and lose it because they were too scared to ask a question, or their pride is too big, or the most frequently used excuse is, "Oh, I should know that." Well, that's what supervisors are for. I am a victim of this too. This intelligence is sometimes a downfall, maybe one of my biggest downfalls, because at different times in my career, it came with arrogance, which is just the coat that covers up fear of judgment. I was once so scared of asking questions that I didn't ask them. Now I ask questions, and if you try to curve me, I'll ask the same question a different way until I get an understanding. So time changes things. Hey, even with all my demands and all my quirks, I am gainfully employed, and I have finally got this show rolling. Companies want to work together, so I'm well on the way. So whatever it is that you can honestly document can be satisfied. If you can dream it, you can be it. That's the saying. There's room for you somewhere. Or you can create a space, like for the exact person that you are. You can create a space for yourself. Believe me. If anyone has ever done anything that you would want to do, it can be done. What's the saying? What do the kids say? Facts! What have we written so far on our paper? Task, environment, okay, production space. Okay, what do we mean by production space? Okay, can you work from home? Do you have a space to work from at home? Do you have a computer? Do you have a quiet space? Do you have a printer, internet, or whatever? If you were given those things, then could you work? Or do you have like kids or a pet? Mine is right underneath my feet right now. That's gonna be with you all day? Or would you, if you didn't have those things, not want to commute? Or would you want to commute? Are your kids gonna be playing Superman and jumping off the top of the refrigerator if you're not watching them every second? Is your dog gonna be dropping loads of questionable objects on your carpet all day if you're not giving him attention every second while you're working? You just have to know your situation. Again, we're being honest, and this is just for yourself, so no reason to just be honest with yourself. Okay, so once I worked at a chemical plant, and obviously there was no work from home component to that job. I carried tools every day, and I worked on measurement systems for the devices at that plant. You can look it up. The title for that job is an instrumentation technician. The job paid well because it is a skilled position, for one, but it also was a partially dangerous job because it was at a chemical plant, and my whole job included stopping and starting and maintaining all of the systems that were run by electronics, pneumatics, hydraulics, and the whole nine. But the schedule was great. We worked Monday through Thursday, so every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I was off, which it was great. You know, it was like when I left on Thursday, I was off. We did have on-call shifts every several weeks over the weekend, maybe every couple of months. but it rotated, so it was cool, rotated with everybody else who worked in there. So that was good at the time as a young adult because I had plenty of kick it time, socializing time, and be a young person time. So when I came to work, I worked, and when I left, I left. No one else except for me had plans of doing anything else short of retiring from that position. So that's what I mean. If you want to work somewhere like a plant or like that where you go to work and then you leave it there until you come back the next day or the next week, then that allows you to concentrate on other things at home or wherever. Write that in your production area on your sheet. And shout out to all the nice folks that I met in Detroit, Michigan that are putting together cars, doing all the Detroit manufacturing, and making money. Practically everybody I met there wanted to work at the plant or had worked there. I mean, everybody wanted their opportunity that hadn't had one to make their cars and then retire. I mean, hey, whatever works, I just want you to write it down. Anyway, what have we talked about so far? Task, environment, production space, and then schedule. Okay, how much time can you dedicate to this work? Are you willing to spend 10 hours a day? Like max away from home? Because you have a pet to attend to. Or maybe you need to go drop off kids and then pick up those kids. And I know daycare is not playing about picking up your kids on time. I heard that daycare charges by the minute if you're late, like for picking up your kids. Like, that makes sense, actually. I can imagine that this increases the revenue for the daycare business, but also it trains the parents to be on time to pick their kids up, because daycare workers have lives too. And that's the thing. You may have a job with a time schedule or you have time constraints, but it's always being extended for whatever reason. See, I was never able to say, I have to pick up my kids, but you shouldn't have to do that. In the new world of work, people have to establish their boundaries and stick to them. However many violations of such from the company make a person unhappy and ultimately want to leave or shorten their performance for the company because they want to pick up their kids on time. I mean, write that down. I can work from what time to what time on this day and these days, and add in commute time also. That's very important. Don't stress yourself out by having to rush. That's an extra part. Like, write down what you really can give as far as time is concerned. Last but not least, everyone's favorite, pay. Do a budget for your overall monthly expenses and determine, being honest, how much do you have to make to live how you're living, how you want to live. And I mean, don't be weird. I mean, God knows I want to live in a mansion, but like, let's be normal for a second. I mean, God wants us to have an abundant life, but I mean, we got to start somewhere. And I haven't exactly taken the vow of poverty, even though as a child I wanted to be a nun. So I'm trying to get paid, but realistically, you can grow into the pay that you desire to have. But today, what do you need to get paid to not panic while you're at work about something getting cut off, your current bills, and then we can go from there. Just today, let's just start there. And just know that no matter what starting pay or pay range is written on a job description, a posting, always remember that it's not final. It's not final. It's not final. Even if it's written on an offer letter, I'll tell you this story at another time. Even if it's written on an offer letter in a professional envelope with a letterhead and it's beautiful, it does not matter. If you ensure that the position that you plan on working will allow you to show and unlock your full potential, then you can write your own paycheck. We'll also talk about that. We'll talk about that another time. Yes, just know you can write your own check. It happens. It's a thing. So we'll talk about that. But today we're just looking to start creating a list of needs and wants for your career, which may be the first time that you ever really just sat down and planned it out. I mean, people go to work, people plan all kinds of things, but what planning does in this instance, meaning career related, is it helps you see and find out where the sweet spot is as far as work is concerned. Let's take into consideration all of these former things, put them all together, and let's call this your zone of genius. Okay, so talking about jobs and careers and all that, this is mine. And then even going to deal with the businesses, this is mine. Maybe career consulting and team building is not a genius activity in the traditional sense, but I have had many jobs in many industries over my career. I'm going to take everything that I know and give it to you. I'm on your side, most definitely. Let's take a sidebar real quick. You need to know who you are, who you want to be, and then be it. Even if it looks weird. Like the graveyard is full of regrets and couldas and wouldas and shouldas and I thought I was finna. That's the only time that it's too late, is laying down. Take a chance. Work your way up to the position that you want to be in, to that position of your dreams. And you may need to get some further education. You may need to get a certificate. You may need to do on-the-job training. You may need to participate in an apprenticeship program or a degree to qualify you to be accepted for the position that you want, because I've been in all levels of education, so I'm all about getting the knowledge, but mainly get whatever you need for you. So whatever you need, get you together. Once we go through the ways you can get a good grip on those things, then this show, Kira of All Trades, will display details of a variety of positions and careers. A type of career that you have always been curious about, or you may learn about jobs that you did not even know existed, like the annual position of seasonal penguin counter in the North Pole. I mean, it's 100% a real job. On Kira of All Trades, I'm bringing you the full details here, vocally and with videos and interviews with a person who does it every day right now. So if there's an opening, I want to interview the person a person who does that job right now every day, so they can tell you about what the job looks like on a day-to-day. I mean, okay, so have you ever gotten a job that looked legit on paper, but like day 2 you were there and you were like, oh no, this is not gonna work for me. Y'all can go ahead and get ready for my resignation because it's coming soon. Finding your area of genius and then being exposed to new and different and a variety of careers, you can really get down to what it is that you want from work. And then the idea is that one day you're going to look down at your list of needs and wants and desires and production area and all that, and find something that we show that maybe you never heard of, or maybe it's in a location that you never thought of moving to, or that you always wanted to move to or visit, and it checks off all of the things on your list. You can also see what other people's dream jobs are, and sometimes that will motivate you. And who else better to bring this to you than me? You want more, and you deserve to have it, but are you going after it? And if not, when are you going to start? So, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me here on Kira of All Trades. My name is Kira. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Everyone else that's joining me on Fire TV and on Roku, hi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me, and I hope to see you every Sunday. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you. Bye. And today we're going to discuss where in the world is your career going. Today I have to make an assessment of where I think is the best location for people to go to get information about their career. And while I was sitting around thinking about what would be the best direction to send people, I essentially had to go through my own history. What have I done in my history to be able to better understand myself? I have done assessments, I have done tests, I have done quizzes, all in the honor of trying to assess where I am, where I was going, where I could be, all of those things. All of them compare our results to another person. In my search to find what career was best for me, it actually took me all over the place and mostly all over the world as I was working. One thing that I found is that there are assessments that I am interested in that don't compare me to anyone else. You see, in my history, I have always wanted to know about myself so that I could better understand how to maneuver through this world. I've always felt like I was different. I've always felt like my understanding for things was separate and individual, and I never felt the need to compare myself to others. I just didn't know exactly where I belonged, or if I belonged. I just basically decided to be a loner because it made the most sense. Way after I got these gray hairs here, I went on a haphazard trip and looked for some ways that I could better assess myself individually, again, without being compared to another person. In this search of the internet, because anybody can go on the internet and search anything and get any kind of answers, I came up with a birth chart. So for anyone who knows, a birth chart is filled with keys to unlock information about you yourself that isn't in comparison to anyone else. I had no idea what a birth chart was and how important it would be for my career, for my lifestyle, and for my forward trajectory to help me to guide myself to really unlock the potential that I knew that I had. A birth chart is probably the most woo-woo thing I can think of in my history that I tried to explain to someone that instantly got their reaction. So a birth chart is essentially a blueprint of yourself, your personality, your actions, and ways that you participate in life that is stamped at the time and date that you were born. So a birth chart starts with your zodiac sign. Everyone knows their zodiac sign, and it's kind of a 50-50 split. Sometimes if I mention a zodiac sign, people say, well, I don't believe in that. I totally understand. As I mentioned, if this was 10 years ago, I probably would have been right on the same path as you. I just basically didn't understand what it was and what it was based off of. I think I more understand now that everyone is multifaceted and you are only getting part of the experience for information that can help you define where you want to go and where you currently are by using all of the different facets of a birth chart. The planetary alignment at the time that you were born has anything to do with describing your personality or what kind of career that you would be good at. All I know is, as a person who cares about having empirical data, as many birth charts as I have read for other people, I just know that they are correct. So I did one for myself, and because the name of this show is Kira of All Trades, I'm just going to tell you what Kira did.